So made it to Petropavlovsk in Russia. Woke up early when it first docked, total night. Looked beautiful then. And then when it's daylight, totally different feel. Totally different feel at daytime than when we first docked in the morning. Here in Petropavlovsk, Russia, you can only get here via plane or boat. And from what I understand, this is the home of the largest nuclear submarine base for Russia, somewhere out here in the coves. But this area gives that old USSR feel. The buildings are sort of run down. Not all of them, but some. Right behind me is the Port Authority. That's where we're going to go to get checked in. And apparently we have to go through customs at the beginning of our trip and at the end when we return to the boat. Russia has some strict guidelines. The only way we could get off the ship was to either have a Russian visa already, and since we didn't get one because we were going to be here for one day, we have to take a tour through Holland or some other independent thing that's with the tour that we get a temporary visa for the day, but we have to stay with our tour group. So we're going to go on a tour a little bit later and see the Volcanarium Museum, the market, and a cathedral that's supposed to be famous here. But I don't know if you can see the Russian soldiers in their cool uniforms. But definitely that old Soviet feel when you look through the buildings here. You see the mountain in the background, the snow-covered top. Like in a cove right now. But the mountains are just beautiful here. And cool history. Russian currency is the ruble. Like I said earlier, you can only get here via plane or helicopter or boat. This area is the second largest city in the world that is unreachable by road. And when we first entered this bay, there was 3 rocks that were right at the entrance of the bay called Tribrata, meaning 3 brothers. The story says that apparently there was a tsunami that came in. The 3 brothers stopped the tsunami by becoming these rocks, and so be it. Yeah, little history. So Petropavlovsk, Russia, was named after 2 saints, St. Peter and St. Paul, and those names make up the city's name in Russian, Petropavlovsk. Basically, the explorers that came here had 2 ships named Peter and Paul, St. Peter and St. Paul. And so they were named after St. Peter and St. Paul. They have a monument here I'm hoping to see, but I'm not sure if the tour guide will get us there. But we'll see. I'm gonna go get some food, go through immigration or customs, and I'll see you all later. So we got off the ship. It's the first time my feet have ever been on Russian soil. Super cool. Always wanted to see Russia. Next is St. Petersburg, and Moscow is my next goal. And they are strict on customs here. They checked us thoroughly before we got off the boat, and we still have to go into customs in the building. But otherwise, we're here, Petropavlovsk, Russia, and super excited. I'm gonna turn off the camera now while we head inside. Enjoying the beautiful view of Petropavlovsk on our tour. You can see the mountains. There's I forgot which one she said that there's some that's active, some that it's not active, but really cool in the background if you can see. Snow-capped. Got more of the city down there. We're gonna head with the rest of the group. Apparently they found some spots with good pictures. First time in Russia. We've seen lots of little monuments here. We did pass the Peter and Paul monument while driving. I think I got a quick clip. If so, I'll show it to you. But right now we're at a chapel. Let's go take a look. At this chapel, you'll have over here on the left of the chapel, you'll have where the Russian soldiers would be buried. And over in that area, that's where the English and the French would be buried after this battle of the Bay, I believe it was. We're going to look at some more monuments. Just finished with the market, fish market. Wandered around. We had 20 minutes to get around. Didn't spend most of my time, basically. Spent most of my time in the fish market. Tried caviar for the first time. Did not like, but got at least to try it. And we bought a can just to have it, I guess. So next stop, Cathedral. We're at the Russian Cathedral, and it's actually turned out to be a really good day. It was supposed to be really cold in the 50s, 40s, but it actually ended up being a great day. And from here, the cathedral, you can see right there the beautiful gold tops. It actually looks really awesome. They told us that the guys had to take off their hats and women have to put on a covering of their head before they could enter. But it's it's a really neat looking and beautiful cathedral. And when you're from far, far away, you can see the volcanoes in the background, the city life. And then there's somebody on the very top in the little hole. Looks like there's a big bell up there. And they said that there's no bells ringing from the actual chapel. That's why it's on the outside. I don't remember why, but interesting little thing. Let's go take a look inside if they'll let us. So remember when I said there's usually the bells are outside the cathedral? These are the bells that are outside the cathedral. Boop, boop. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna touch them. But it's pretty cool. Saying goodbye to the cathedral and off to the next stop. I'll see you shortly. So made it to the Volcanarium Museum about, I guess, volcanoes. In this unique looking building. Just waiting for the last of the people to arrive so we can enter.
Yes, you are allowed to have a your touch, explore this, no problem, enjoy it.
Is this a magic wand?
Yes. It's regular. And Kamchatka is a bit different story. It's a subduction. Subduction, yes. The Pacific Ocean bottom goes down under Eurasian plate. Yes, it's very hot.
It's cold. Waiting aboard the ship for us to leave. We have a few more hours. Everybody's supposed to already be on board, but we don't leave dock till about 8 p.m. And then we head out to our next location, our first stop in Japan. Kind of cool in the background. You can see the volcano right back there. Pretty cool. What's kind of interesting is that we have Russian officials on board this ship right now, I guess to make sure we don't get into trouble. Anyway, still waiting to see my first wildlife whale, not one at SeaWorld, but actually out here in the opening. There's been many people who've seen killer whales, humpback whales, different whales since we got close to Alaska and even on the way here to Russia. I, for some reason, seem to miss them every time we're at dinner and I run to the window because they spotted them, they always disappear. So I have not been fortunate enough to see any. I got my hat on, it is cold. And yeah, probably next place is, like I said, Moscow, St. Petersburg, and then I can see I've marked off my bucket list for Russia. And I still have South America, Africa to go to. And after doing this cruise, 89-day cruise for the first time ever, to do something this long of a vacation without working, I just want to keep on doing it. It is fantastic. The people are fantastic. The staff make you feel like kings and queens. You have food and gym and movies and cooking demonstrations. The only thing you really can't do is use the outside pool. The indoor pool is fine, but the outside pool, it is too cold to be in. Anytime I played basketball yesterday, the wind would just throw the ball in one direction or the other. Couldn't ever get it perfect. Maybe it's just my skill, but it's not fun on the choppy waters of the Pacific. But otherwise, we'll be leaving Petropavlovsk soon. I'm determined to stay out here in the cold. That's why I'm all warm. I got my gloves in my pocket. Nothing matches, but I'm out here just so I could not miss a chance to see a whale. So when I do go to dinner, it's going to be by a window. And I'll probably be near outside or by the window no matter what until we hit ocean tonight, or it gets too dark to see. The Google Translate app that I have on my phone that I used when we were in Chinatown worked perfect here. I was able, even in the museum, the Volcano Museum, I was able to use that app to translate. Using the camera, it would translate Russian to English. So super helpful. I can't wait to use it in Japan and China. Just another view in the evening of the port area.